You're now, that's what's important. We experience a collapse in our life structure most of the time because we failed to funeralize failed yesterdays. You have to be strong enough basically to realize you can elevate out of your current situation. Instead of looking at where you think you should be by now, look at where you have grown out of. There are many individuals who need help with their blueprint. And I want to be that vessel, nothing special, just that mouthpiece to inspire you to construct the best version of your life that you can be. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in this crazy world that we're living in. Thank you for tapping in. Wow, just sitting here looking over some stuff just before I went live and just kind of uh, scheming through social media. And I see some of the people that I know back east, they have posted about a shooting at a graduation. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. A shooting in a graduation. I mean, I'm like, are we safe anywhere? Can we go and enjoy ourselves without having to look over our shoulders? It's just crazy. You know, these kids, they work hard to make it to this point where they can graduate. And here we go at the graduation, your family, I'm thinking about the elderly people that may have went in there on walkers, wheelchairs, and you got someone that show up to the graduation and start shooting. Uh, I just happened to see a post about it. Prayers up to the families. Prayerfully, no one lost their life in this, but it's sad. But, prayers out to the graduates that went there expecting, a great time and you ended up running at your own graduation. It's just crazy, but prayers to them. Definitely prayers up to them. Man, yeah, just I'm sure some of you seen my post that pretty much I'm calling this, I kind of titled this Nothing Left to Say. I've, been in a season that I feel like I'm pretty much at a point that I don't really have much left to say doing this podcast. Episode 67. We've done 67 episodes thus far. Tonight is episode 68. A podcast is hard. It's hard to kind of keep going. It take hours, especially if you don't have a guest and it's just me solo. Takes a lot of hours to put together a podcast, and you pour and pour and pour into people. And I'm kind of in a season now that I need someone to pour into me. you know you're right, Kev. 32, and that's dude, that's my goal, man. I been trying to make it to that 100th episode, and 10 was a major accomplishment, 25 was an accomplishment, 50 was accomplishment, and man, yeah, getting in 32 more episodes to make it to 100 episodes, man, that would be a huge accomplishment. But this season, season 3, we've had some great topics. I kind of jotted down 5 of my favorite topics that I got a lot of feedback on. Um, the first episode of this season here that we're currently in. I did it with my brother Mike Brown, and we talked about porn, the hidden addiction. That was a huge episode. We got a lot of feedback on that. And basically, we just talked about, porn, how a lot of people behind closed doors, that's what they're doing. It's a hidden addiction. And you can do it, you can watch it for free. And basically, that's what a lot of people do behind closed doors. But one of the things that people don't realize is, when you start to get that self pleasure, male and females, females, you have that battery operated device, and you get to the point that is pleasing you. And then, you go and you get a man and you dump him real quick because don't, he can't compare to that device. And men, you look at these certain women that's on the screen, and you look past women that God is sending to you because they don't compare to that woman that you see on the screen. So yeah, that was a great episode. Um Another one was who's holding your scaffold. If this one didn't speak to no one else, it spoke volumes to me. Who's holding your scaffold? And basically this just talked about who's who's holding you and who's supporting you while you're pushing towards your purpose. Who's in your support group. And this one was big for me, because a lot of times, you're doing stuff and people don't believe in you. You're doing stuff and people they're so busy that they don't even take time to try and support you. And like me, I have this podcast. I know this podcast is not for everybody. Everybody may can't relate to what I talk about on this podcast, but everybody knows somebody that can relate. But at the same time, people won't even take time to use that index finger and hit the share button and share it on their page when they see my flyers, that I'm having this guest on, or basically it's me by myself and whatever I'm talking about. And people won't even take the time to hit the share button, and it kind of hurts, when you're connected to people that know people and they won't even take the time to support you, you know, it kind of hurts. But at the same time, that's my dog in the background. Y'all got to excuse him. But I've gotten past that point, and God really has blessed me this season to basically connect with so many people, and I've been able to grow my podcast and extend into areas that I thought I'd never extend to, and connect with people that I never thought I would connect with. Another episode, a good episode, basically it was take the bandage off. And on that one, we talked about, it was basically talking about healing, and one of the things that we talked about mostly was how we keep a bandage over something, and basically talking about the hurt, things that we have endured in our past, the divorces, the physical abuse, the rape, um, depression, so many areas in our life that you have been victim to. And basically what you do is you put you put a bandage over it. In so many words, you try to hide behind the hurt instead of dealing with the hurt. And basically behind closed doors, you're weeping, you're depressed, and you're acting out in a lot of ways because you won't deal with that pain from your past. And that episode was really it stood out to me, and a lot of people reached out to me after that episode, and they were like, "It needs to be a part two to that. It needs to be a part to that. That was a great episode." So then as I went in and tried to build off of that one, um, I came up with the one the following week, and basically we talked about how we need to stop bleeding on folks. Stop bleeding on folks. And that basically was piggybacking off of taking the bandage off, because when we walk around and we're hurting and we don't deal with the issue at hand, then we will start to bleed on people, because instead of us dealing with the problem, we feel like we don't have a problem. So basically, we walk around and we just leave a trail of hurt, not just on ourselves, but on everyone that's in our circle, family members that love us, and try to be there for us. But that hurt it starts to be a domino effect, and you start to bleed on people. You act out. People are there trying to help you, but you're refusing their help. And because you are not dealing with taking that bandage off and dealing with that hurt, from your past, and not taking the bandage off, then you start bleeding on people. And then an episode that I did after that, where we talked about professional manipulators. And that episode, it was it was a good episode, because that can go so many ways when you start talking about people that we're connected to that will manipulate you. And these manipulators come in all forms and fashions. You have manipulators on your job. Manipulators can come through, you know, um, boyfriends, girlfriends, children, even spouses, um, even in churches, you name it, and you can find manipulators. People will try to make you do the wrong thing just for them, basically, for something that they want, I should say. So they'll make you do something for them. And when you basically say you're not going to do it, then they try to manipulate you and try to make you feel like you're the bad person because you won't do it. You know, um, and when we talked about that, that discussion got so deep. You're in a relationship, and basically it's a abusive relationship, and this man put his hands on the female, or the female put her hands on the man. And then, then the crying comes, and it's, "I'm sorry." And then they'll say something like, "Well, if you hadn't have did this, I wouldn't have hit you. You know, you need to watch this and don't do this again, and it'll never happen again." So they're trying to make you feel like it was your fault that they did it. You know, um, and these manipulators, you guys need to go and look at that. Definitely go back and look at that episode. You basically, I have a link strolling across the bottom there. You can go to Buzzsprout, type in that buzzsprout.com, what is it, 2122002, and it takes you to any platform. You got Google, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, uh, you name it. We're on all of those platforms, but definitely you need to go and listen at, some of those past podcasts that we did. Um, I'm just blessed, man, to have people like you that tap in. We got the week and listen, and then you send me the emails, you send me the text messages. You go on my social media pages and you share the episodes, you comment on the episodes. But just for me to get feedback on how these episodes bless you, it pushes me to keep doing what I'm doing. But you get to a point in your life where it's like, I feel like I don't have anything left to say. And I have a heart for giving. I have a heart for, speaking into people's lives. But as I said earlier, sometimes we need someone to fill us up and speaking to us. So I had someone that, spoken to me the other day, and it was like, it's okay for you to take a break. Let people miss you for a while. And, while they miss you, you fuel up and come back stronger. You know, um, I was on a in a Zoom meeting today, and I heard something that I had never heard before, but I definitely could relate to it. Um, this guy, he talked about the water fountain, and he said, when you're a person that people look up to, you want to consider yourself as a water fountain, and you're giving out the purest form of water that you can, unfiltered, but the purest form of water that you can. And you want everybody that drinks from your fountain to get hydrated, to the point where they can be energized and ready to go out and be able to that hydration that you're giving them. It's a blessing that it keeps them hydrated to walk through anything that they needs to walk through. But sometimes when you feel like that you're not giving out the purest form of water in your fountain, it's okay to unplug, go and filter some things and come back stronger. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Uh, I don't know if I'm gonna take off 1 month, 2 month. I do have, a huge project that I'm working on that you guys will hear about later. But that's definitely going to be it's a huge project, and I'm totally excited about it. Few things going on in the next few months. Definitely excited about next month, July 7th. July 7th is will be 20 years clean for me. So I'm totally excited, about the July 7th. If you're here in Phoenix, definitely show me some love, find me. We can do lunch or something. But yeah, totally excited about that. But yeah, I'm just in a season where I feel there's nothing left to say. Um, 30 days. Yes, sir. But yeah, I just want to build, find some guests, some new guests, um, and just come back strong. So yeah, it's hot here. We're triple digits right now. And yeah, I just want to try to cool off and get hydrated and just come back stronger. So, yeah, that's where I'm at now. So, you guys do me a favor. If you know of some people that will make some great guests, please inbox me. If you have my phone number, text me, as I start to line up some stuff for season 4 when I come back. Um, because when we come back season 4, we're gonna be pushing towards that 100th episode. That 100th episode, I'm excited about. We definitely gonna have to do something special. Hopefully, we can have an over the top guest for that 100th episode. But yeah, if you know some people that will make some great guests, please um, inbox me or shoot me a text message. Let me know. Also, if you have some topics that you would like to hear me dissect, any topic, we talk about everything on here. So if you have any topics that you would like to hear me dissect, please text me, inbox me as well, those topics. And I'll be glad to include those. And yeah, some of my listeners, LifeStruction family, if you want to come on and be a co-host, because I would like to really have some different co-hosts to come on and just kind of, be my co-host. And as I talk about stuff, you chime in and talk with me. So I see my cousin Stacy is on. If she's still on, I would love for you to be a co-host on one of my episodes, Stacy, because I know I would get some realness, but also the people would definitely get some humor laughing at your character and personality. So definitely I would love to have some different co-hosts to step in. So yeah, guys, episode 68 is a wrap. Nothing left to say. Um, but I think I've said enough this season where people can definitely go back and listen at some of my old episodes. And yeah, you would definitely get something out of each one of them. And also, um, go as you go back and listen at those episodes, there's a link in there where you can subscribe. You can pay as less as $3 a month. You can do $5 a month, $10 a month, and it just kind of helps me maintain the podcast to keep it up, keep it going until God sends those sponsors. I can be blessed with sponsors. So definitely do that, and it would be greatly appreciated. Before I go, I don't know if you guys seen my seen some of my jokes that I've been dropping on my social media pages. But if you didn't, go back and look at them. But I got one for you before I close, so you can laugh your way. We're gonna laugh our way out of this podcast. And Kev, you better laugh. So I heard this joke the other day. I'm like, I got to share it. So it was this guy, and he wanted to ride a horse. So he was a Christian guy. So he went over to the ranch and he wanted to ride a horse. So he told the guy, he said, I want to be a Christian horse. I want to be a Christian horse. So the guy was like, I got just a horse for you. I got just a horse for you. He's a Christian horse. So the guy got up on him. He was like, I've never rode a horse before. I don't want him to go too fast. He was like, no. He was like, he answers to two commands. Uh, you said, thank you, Jesus, and he'll start to walk. You say amen, and he'll stop. He's like, okay, that's easy. That's easy. So he gets on the horse and he slaps him and he says, thank you, Jesus. So the horse starts to going. He's going. And so he comes out the ranch and they're going down the road and the horse is going. So this car comes by and it backfires. Pow! So all of a sudden the horse rails up and he just starts running the opposite way. And the man is like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hallelujah. Glory be to God. He's worthy. And it's a cliff coming. It's a cliff coming. He's like, help me, Lord, help me, Lord. Oh, amen. So the horse stops right at the edge of the cliff. He said, thank you, Jesus. And the horse jumped across the cliff. Huh. Was that not funny to y'all? I don't hear nobody laughing. I thought that was funny. But anyway, I want to leave you with a joke. And, that's where I've been at these last few weeks, just laughing. It's okay to laugh. And we have so many of us that we have some stuff going on right now, and we have to learn to laugh through I'm calling it my no season. We get so used to being in that yes season where God gives us everything what we want. He lays everything out, the good health, the good job, the finances are flowing and everything. But what do you do when you get into your no season and everything that we think we should have, God says, no, you're not ready for it. Or no, that's not on my list of things that I'm blessing you with in this season. So what do you do? What I've chosen to do is laugh through it and have faith through it and be obedient through it and tried my best to be at peace through it. So I encourage you guys to do the same thing. Love your LifeStruction family. We're signing off for season 3. You guys be blessed. And hey, keep me in your prayers. And I love you guys for being part of the LifeStruction family. And until next time, you guys be blessed. Peace.